Picture this, a famous Hollywood actress, poised and glamorous, sitting across from a reporter who thinks he's seen it all. The stage is set for yet another typical celebrity interview. But when the question goes from quirky to downright absurd, no one could have predicted the shocking turn of events. Zendaya, the beloved star, known for her wit and style, responds to a completely out-of-left-field question in a way that leaves the reporter not just speechless, but captivated. What was the question? And more importantly, what was her response? This wasn't just a simple celebrity moment. It was a revelation. In an interview that will go down in history for its humor, charm, and unexpected depth, Zendaya proves once again why she's more than just a star. She's a force of nature. Get ready to witness the moment that left the world, and the reporter, absolutely stunned. Blake Thompson had been hosting Celebrity Unfiltered 4 years, effortlessly leading interviews with some of the biggest names in Hollywood. He was quick-witted, used to catching his guests off guard with random, sometimes ridiculous questions. Today's guest was Zendaya, an actress, singer, and fashion icon who had proven herself to be a master of composure and charm. She was an effortless conversationalist, skilled in handling any question with grace and humor. Everyone knew she could navigate any situation with ease. But today, the tables would turn. Blake, always one for thinking outside the box, had something different in mind for the interview. He knew Zendaya was known for being intelligent, poised, and quick with comebacks, so he figured, why not push the boundaries a little? He had a tradition on the show: ask one completely absurd question that would take the celebrity out of their comfort zone. It was all in good fun, but sometimes, just sometimes, the answer could surprise everyone. The interview began like any other, Zendaya talking about her latest projects, her experiences on set, and her passion for fashion. But as the conversation flowed, Blake decided it was time. He leaned forward, a mischievous glint in his eyes. "So, Zendaya," Blake began, his voice dripping with playfulness, "if you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be and why?" The audience waited in anticipation. Some chuckled nervously, others exchanged puzzled glances, but Blake was confident. Zendaya, as always, would play along with a smile. But instead of the expected laugh or light-hearted response, Zendaya paused. She stared at Blake, her gaze steady and focused. The room fell silent. She didn't look confused or unsure. She simply seemed to be considering his question with a depth that no one had anticipated. After a moment, Zendaya spoke, her voice calm but deliberate. "I'd be a cucumber." Blake's eyes widened. He hadn't been expecting that. He leaned back, taken aback, trying to mask his surprise with a chuckle. "A cucumber," Blake repeated. "I was thinking more like a bell pepper or, something a little more glamorous." Zendaya's smile remained unwavering. She didn't flinch, didn't try to make it more light-hearted. She just looked at him, completely at ease. "Cucumbers are calm on the outside," she said slowly, her tone steady, "but they've got a little kick to them once you get inside. Plus, they're pretty versatile, whether they're in a salad, on your eyes at a spa, or just chilling on their own. I like to think I'm the same way." Blake blinked, processing the unexpected depth of her answer. The audience murmured, sensing that this was no ordinary interview. Zendaya wasn't just making a joke or giving a vague response. She was giving them a glimpse into her perspective on life. She wasn't just some Hollywood star answering a silly question. She was showing off her sharp, reflective side. "So, you're telling me you're cool?" Blake asked, unsure of how to continue. Zendaya's lips curled into a knowing smile. "Exactly," she replied, her eyes sparkling. "Cool, calm, and collected, but I've got a bit more going on than meets the eye." Blake, still recovering from the unexpected wisdom of her response, tried to maintain his usual playful tone. "I guess I'm a little more of a potato, right? Starchy, versatile, and easy to get along with." The audience laughed, but Zendaya didn't miss a beat. She tilted her head, considering his response. "Well," she said with a glint in her eye, "I wouldn't exactly say a potato. But you've definitely got potential. Just don't forget to add some seasoning. No one likes bland." The crowd erupted in laughter again, but this time it was different. Zendaya wasn't just playing along. She had turned the tables, effortlessly flipping a silly question into a moment of wisdom. She had managed to make a joke, but without losing any of her depth or charm. She wasn't simply answering the question, she was controlling the conversation, taking it in a direction that was uniquely her own. Blake, now completely caught off guard, grinned and shook his head. "You know, Zendaya, you're probably the only person who could turn a cucumber question into a life lesson." Zendaya smiled, but this time her eyes softened. "Life's a lot like a cucumber," she said, her voice quieter now. "You can be cool and collected, and you can handle whatever comes your way. But underneath, there's always something more. You just have to be patient enough to find it. For a moment, the room was still. Blake stared at her, his usual sharp wit replaced by something deeper, respect. He didn't know how to respond to that. It wasn't a cliché answer. It wasn't something that could be dismissed with a laugh or a witty retort. Zendaya's response had caught him off guard, and for the first time, Blake was the one left speechless. The rest of the interview proceeded smoothly, but the energy had shifted. It wasn't just another celebrity interview anymore. Zendaya had subtly but powerfully shown that she was more than just an actress or a fashion icon. She was a force to be reckoned with. Her response to a seemingly ridiculous question had not only stunned a veteran interviewer but had left the audience in awe. By the end of the interview, Zendaya had not only maintained her reputation as a talented actress but had deepened it, showing her ability to navigate humor, humility, and unexpected wisdom with equal ease. It wasn't just the answer to the cucumber question that made this interview unforgettable. It was the way Zendaya effortlessly blended humor and insight, leaving everyone, including Blake, with a newfound appreciation for her unique perspective on the world. The clip of this interview went viral within hours, with viewers everywhere commenting on Zendaya's unexpected depth. Blake Thompson, while still a skilled interviewer, had been left in awe of a star who could not only handle the spotlight but make it her own. The aftermath of Zendaya's cucumber response had a lasting ripple effect on both the audience and Blake Thompson. The interview had started with a simple, almost absurd question, but it ended with a profound, unexpected twist that no one had seen coming. Zendaya had effortlessly transformed a playful moment into something far more meaningful. As the interview concluded, the audience was left in awe, and even Blake, the seasoned host, was a little shaken. Behind the scenes, the production team was buzzing. Clips of Zendaya's answers were shared within minutes, and what was supposed to be a typical celebrity interview quickly became the talk of the internet. Clips of Zendaya calmly explaining her cucumber metaphor spread like wildfire across social media. Comment sections lit up with admiration for her sharp, clever response and the way she'd handled the absurdity of the question with such composure. As for Blake, the normally confident interviewer found himself reflecting on the exchange long after the cameras had stopped rolling. He rewatched the interview, paying close attention to how Zendaya had skillfully taken control of the conversation. The cucumber analogy wasn't just a joke, it was a clever metaphor for how she saw herself, cool, calm, with unexpected depth. It was clear that Zendaya wasn't just playing a game for laughs. She had used the moment to express something about herself in a subtle but powerful way. Later, when the interview hit TV reruns, Blake made sure to mention it again. He gave a playful nod to the cucumber comment, but this time, there was a tone of genuine respect in his voice. The whole team couldn't stop talking about it either. There were discussions about how easily Zendaya had turned an offbeat question into a masterclass of charisma and wisdom. How had she made it seem so easy? The viral moment from the interview turned Zendaya into more than just a Hollywood star. She became a symbol of how to handle life's absurdities with grace. Her casual yet thoughtful response resonated with millions, and soon, people were drawing inspiration from her cool, composed approach to everything. Zendaya was now a trendsetter, not just in fashion and acting, but in how to take life's challenges in stride. Blake, for his part, was candid in interviews following the episode, admitting that Zendaya had made him speechless in a way no guest ever had. He went on to joke about how he might never ask such a strange question again, but the truth was, he had been amazed by Zendaya's ability to see the deeper layers in everything. It had left an impression on him that would last for years to come. The final twist came when Zendaya herself took to social media, sharing her thoughts on the interview. She posted a picture of a cucumber with the caption, "Sometimes, you just need to cool off and look a little deeper." #CucumberVibes. It was a subtle nod to the interview, but it sent the internet into overdrive. Fans and followers alike took to social media to share their thoughts, with countless people adopting the cucumber mentality in their daily lives. By the time the dust had settled, the interview had cemented its place as one of the most memorable moments in talk show history. Zendaya had turned an absurd question into a philosophical moment that left everyone questioning how they saw the world around them. It wasn't just a cucumber question, it was a reflection of how we all might be more than what we appear on the surface. Blake Thompson, who had thought he was the one in control of the interview, was left with a new perspective. And in the end, that was perhaps the greatest surprise of all. It was Zendaya's ability to use humor and wisdom in equal measure that made this interview one for the history books, and she had shown everyone in that room, and everyone watching, the true power of authenticity. Zendaya's response in that unforgettable interview wasn't just a moment of humor, it was a testament to the power of authenticity. She didn't just answer a question, she used the moment to teach us something. By effortlessly blending humor, wisdom, and self-assurance, she showed us the value of being true to who we are, even when faced with life's absurdities. In a world that often celebrates perfection and surface-level success, Zendaya's cool, calm, and collected demeanor reminded us all that there's far more beneath the surface. Just like the cucumber, we may appear one way on the outside, but there's always more depth to us if we take the time to look. It's a call to go deeper, to not settle for the easy answers, and to embrace the layers that make us who we are. Blake Thompson's transformation in the interview is equally telling. Here was a man who had spent years controlling the narrative, asking the questions, and holding the reins. Yet in that moment, he was the one who was humbled, reflecting on his own approach to life and interviews. Zendaya's grace and intelligence made him question his own assumptions and approach, an unexpected lesson for someone who had thought he'd seen it all. This interview isn't just a reminder of Zendaya's wit and wisdom. It's a reminder to all of us that sometimes, the most profound insights come in the most unexpected forms. The moment a reporter expected to be light-hearted became a moment of deep reflection. And that's the beauty of authenticity. It can stop you in your tracks, make you rethink the world, and remind you that we all have more to offer than what's visible on the surface. So, let this interview serve as a lesson. Embrace life's quirks with grace, find meaning in the unexpected, and never underestimate the power of being true to yourself. Like Zendaya said, sometimes, you just need to cool off and look a little deeper. And who knows what you'll discover beneath the surface, about others, and about yourself. The true power lies in that authenticity, in that cool, calm resilience that we all have inside us. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moments. Like Zendaya, we can all find wisdom in the smallest, most unexpected places, if only we take the time to look.